All right, morning. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and your DOC number.
Lynn Pommier, 495-746.
All right, Ms. Pommier, you're classified as a fourth felony offender. You're currently serving an 8-year sentence. You were sentenced in St. Tammany Parish, January of 2022. Possession of methamphetamine, monetary instrument use. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 counts. Possession of heroin, possession of cocaine, possession of you have a parole eligibility date, April 18, 2023. Good time is February 6, 2024, and full term, April 19, 2029. Does all that sound correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, case has been assigned to Mr. Kelsey. Would you answer his questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Pommier, how old are you?
I'm 49 years old.
How long have you been down on this 8-year sentence? Many years?
23 months.
How many years?
A year and 11 months.
Okay, good. You have a GED or high school diploma?
I have a GED, and then I have,
Did you get that while you were incarcerated, or did you get that before?
no, sir, I had that before,
Or what grade did you drop out of school in?
a 9th.
Why did you drop out of school?
Young, just wanted to go work.
Drugs or alcohol involved, or
No, sir.
you just quit school?
Yes, sir.
You were living in St. Tammany Parish?
Yes, sir. I've lived in St. Tammany Parish my whole life.
What do you currently do there in the facility? What's your job?
In LTCW,
Right. Right.
I don't have a job. I'm in classes.
Okay, no job. Are you a trustee?
No, sir.
Why not?
I go to classes.
Okay. What have you been doing? Tell me about your classes. What have you been taking?
I take beyond entry, and I'm in the MAT class, the medically assistant treatment class, and I'm in a reentry class and an anger management class.
So tell me, were you a drug dealer or user or both?
I was a user,
And what was your drug of choice?
heroin,
And were you shooting heroin?
snorting it.
How long have you been on heroin?
Just a couple of years before I came to jail. Before that, I was alcohol and Xanaxes were my drug of choice. I've been an addict for over 20 plus years. In and out of recovery. I've had long bouts of recovery too.
Been in and out of rehab and just had work for them.
Yes, sir. I mean, when I go to meetings and do what I need to do, honestly, I stay clean. When I fall off and I stop going to meetings and stop working a program, that's when I fall off. I mean, I come from, my family is recovery based, but my parents have over 30 plus years clean. And when I stay in the program and stay working with a sponsor, it works for me. When I stop doing that, that's when I get in trouble. When I get overwhelmed and I start working the Lynn program, it's when I get in trouble. That's just me being honest, sir.
Sure. Well, why does that happen? Why do you stop? No, you know how to help your problem fall off. What causes that?
Usually I just people, places, and things, and not using my support system and not using my tools. This time I'm gonna go home on the Vivitrol shot. I'm in the MAT class, and I'm going home to my parents' house, which is a clean and healthy environment. I'm gonna stay in the outpatient program that my teacher is gonna set me up with to continue the Vivitrol shot. And I, stay on a plan to do that for at least a year, and then see in a year if I want to continue to do the Vivitrol shot. That's gonna be my plan. And plus, doing meetings and doing what I need to do.
Well, you go back to the same people and places, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm going home to my parents' house. I'm going home to a clean.
Right, they live in the same town. I'm talking about the general area. I mean, it's.
For those of you that don't know, that shot, you can take it and it makes it impossible for you to get high. I don't know 100% if it covers all drugs, but it's pretty neat.
You're going to be in the same area that you got in all the trouble all the time, correct?
No, I'm going to stay in a clean environment with my parents. Now, I'm not going to live by myself. And
I understand what you're saying. I understand where you're going to live, the home you're going to live. Is it so what city is that home your mom lives in?
my mom lives in Slidell, in the North Shore, yes.
Okay. And so where have you always gotten in trouble with drugs and alcohol? What cities or what parish?
In Slidell, in the same parish.
You're right. So you've gotten in trouble in Slidell. Although you were living by yourself, I understand what you're saying. You're going to live with your mom, but you're going to be still in that same environment, not home environment, the same area where you've gotten in trouble. Is that correct?
Right, but I was not in the same area. I was in a bad relationship with the wrong people. I was in a very toxic relationship with somebody that was really abusive that I couldn't get away from. I wasn't and around people that were supportive and clean. When I came to jail, right before I came to jail, I was in a really abusive, toxic relationship where I was being abused and I couldn't get away from the person who I was with. Not that I'm blaming everything on that. I just couldn't get out of that situation with that person.
So if you go back home and that person is around or those people are around, how you get, I mean, you're not going to just go back to Slidell and nobody from your past that's gotten you and all that been involved with you during those troubled drugs and alcohol. You can't tell me they aren't going to contact you. Want me to just come out of jail and say, oh, we're not going to contact Miss Lynn anymore. We're not. So how you going to handle that?
I'm going to put myself around recovery people, sir. I'm going to put myself in around my family, and I'm going to put myself in around people with recovery. I'm not going to go around people who are using. The man who was abusing me is in jail on habitual, and if he comes around me, I'm going to put a restraining order against him. I was pistol whipped, and I suffered a brain injury where this man beat me so bad, and I had a stroke to my head. I'm not going to put myself in that situation. My parents are going to be there to help me. They have my mom has 34 years in sobriety, and her partner has 37 years in sobriety. They're very active in NA. I'm going to continue to go to meetings and I
understand that. That's all. That's exactly what you need to do. All those things are important for sure. You have to. So were you involved with drugs with anybody other than your partner? You have friends out there that you were using drugs with or not, or was it just your partner or your husband?
This person kept me very isolated from anybody. I don't really have any friends.
You know how long he got in? How long he's got left on this one?
I've been down for I was told that he was getting the habitual. I don't know. He was my co-defendant. I don't know, sir. I was told he had a gun charge and he was getting hit with the habitual, which was 10 years. So I mean, I don't know if he comes near me. I mean, I'm pressing charges. Like he's.
Have any children together?
Oh no, sir. My children are grown. I have a 30-year-old and a 28-year-old.
Do you have a relationship with your children?
Yes, sir. Both of my children.
They come to see you regularly or talk to you?
Yes, sir.
What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna work? Are you gonna go home with your mom, dad, mom and then her partner? And, I understand all that. Talk to me about, past partner. What are you gonna do? I mean, you have to stay sober. That's important, but you also have to work and make a living, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. I hope to go back to work. I was managing Shell, and I left on good terms, so I hope to go back to work. I was managing the Shell on Airport Road. I hope to go back to work to there, but if not, I mean, I really liked working at the gas station to manage in the gas station. It was fun. So, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fast paced, doing lotto. I mean, I left on good terms there, so I hope to go back there. But if not, I would like to go into the same line of work. I enjoyed it. It was fast paced customer service. I went to school for therapeutic massage, but I mean, because of my getting in trouble, I can't do that no more. But I'd like to go back into customer service. So there's Dollar Tree. I live right by an outlet mall, so there's plenty of jobs that I can get right there by my
That is-
house.
You're a fourth class offender, so, you've been through this before. How long, is this the longest time you've been down?
This is the first time I've ever been to jail.
First time you've ever been to jail? All four of these others, you've been in jail for a minute, then came out?
I've always did probation and completed my probation, so I've never been incarcerated. Like, this is my first time ever being incarcerated for this amount of time. I did 50 days in the parish jail in 2019, but I've never been for this long. So I've always completed my probation and successfully and done that. I did drug court, so I've
How
always.
many times been arrested for drinking, for a deduct for drinking while driving?
I did 3. I had 3 DWIs in 2010. Well, 1 in 07, and then I had 2 misdemeanors, and then the third offense was in 2010.
Okay.
And I did sobriety court for that.
Tell me about the MAT program.
It's a medically assisted treatment program where you get a naltrexone shot.
You're still now, right? You're still involved in it now, correct?
Yes, sir. And so I'll be going home on the naltrexone shot, and then I'll be continuing that care at home.
What
So
about? And so, have you taken, say, living in balance, thinking for a change? Have you taken anything else while you're in there that might help you?
that's my substance abuse for that. Yeah.
Not thinking for not thinking for a change.
No, sir.
All right. Well, I don't have any further questions. I'll sit back and listen to my colleagues.
Mr. Mirabella has some questions.
I have a couple of questions. Tommy, when were you in drug court?
In 2013,
And where was that at?
St. Tammany.
And now, did St. Tammany back in 2013 offer a medically assisted program then?
Sir, it was not around back
It
then.
wasn't offered back then, something relative to the drug
Yes.
courts. How is it that you got into the MAT program? Tell me how that decision was made that you got into the MAT class.
It was referred, and I was sent into it.
And referred by whom?
Miss Jones.
Jones is the person who does the evaluations there, or what?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And are you currently on Vivitrol? Or are you taking a shot now?
No, they we're waiting to see what happens here today, because I have to be 3 months out for them to get the okay for the prescription.
Sure.
3 months short.
Mr. Kelsey asked you about programs that you've taken in the last couple of years there. Now, from what I'm hearing from you, you've taken probably every program treatment that there's been. You've just never had anything successful for the long term. Is that fairly accurate? I mean, you've had a lot of treatment. You talk about AA meetings, you talk about what it is you need to stay sober. You've stayed sober for a number of years and you keep falling back. Is this the first time you've ever been faced with the medical treatment, with the shot?
Yes, sir.
And do you want to continue to take the shot for a while? Is that
Yes,
something?
sir, I do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
May be your only salvation.
I think it will be, sir. I've never, and heroin, changed my life and, I think, the shot is my only, hope. I really feel like, I don't want to leave here without it. I really don't.
Thank you. That's all.
Let me ask you just a couple questions. Your partner, the one that
Then my mom said it's moving up top.
Did they freeze? I think they froze. Yeah. Yeah, she knows that she needs the shot.
It's going good. She just does not feel like it's going good. Okay. Yeah, that's what you do. Just great. I see you, Mama. I see you, Mama. Yeah, I do. She threw you a peace sign and threw it back. She was singing. And I had 5 thumbs up. She sent you.
That's sweet.
I wanted to know what y'all doing over there. And the light too is wrong. And so they're having a connection issue. Hold on 1 second. You're doing good, Miss Lydia.
Tell them you got a letter from Miss Haley.
That Miss King on read.
No, I'm not.
No. I know up now, you brought it.
Well, I'm just a messenger.
You brought the miss, so you got to deliver. You got to deliver.
She looks tired.
It's long.
I think it actually is going well. I think there's 2 routes. They're going to send her to the Steve Hoyle program.
Is it bad on their end, John? Is mess up on their end?
Oh, yeah, it's on them. Yeah.
I think they'll either send her to the Steve Hoyle program. I think that's a good chance. Or they may just actually send her out on condition of the shot. I'm not sure, but if I had to guess,
Plus, she's got my dog.
What kind of dog you got?
She's showing her a puppy.
What kind of-
She's got him waving his hand. It's Paul.
what kind of-
What kind of dog is that?
Dachshund.
Okay.
I didn't want it back on. Get back on. That's dog. Crazy.
He can run like he just.
Golly, why had Mama done this?
Long time.
All right, I think we're back up. I'm sorry, we lost connection for a moment. So I was asking you the name of, you mentioned you were in a toxic relationship. What was the name of your partner at that time?
Kenyatta Meads.
Okay. Okay. Tell us about the counterfeit operation.
What would you like to know, ma'am?
What was it? Tell us about it.
Uh, we were printing money. It was wrong. I regret every bit of it.
So you and Mr. Meads were doing it? Or
Yeah.
you have four co-defendants?
Yes, ma'am. I didn't hear that part.
You had four co-defendants. Was all four co-defendants involved in that operation?
We were all living in one house. It was a 4-bedroom house, and me and Mr. Meads were in one bedroom, and then there was another couple in another bedroom, and then so that's how all of us were together in the 4-bedroom house, and it was a scan and copy of the money, and so the money was
That was for drugs. Were you employed at the time? Were you employed, or was anybody in the house employed?
I was employed at Shell. Yes,
You were the only one?
I was the only one that was employed. Yes, ma'am. I was working at Shell.
Okay. Ms. Jones, is there any input you have?
Well, we actually have a letter from Haley Jones, who runs the MAP program.
Oh, good. Well, if you can scan and email that to us, we want to put that in our record.
Definitely, yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Your mother, Miss Osborne, is here. Miss Osborne, is there any remarks you want to tell us about?
Yes, ma'am. Lynn is coming home to live with me and my partner. She is a teacher at a private school, and I am I'm a hospice nurse. Lynn's going to be in a very safe environment. I feel very confident that she's done. You know, I do. I really feel like she's done. She's I don't have any. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm really not. She's not going to be around people. We're very active in the church. I'm also a evangelical Lutheran chaplain. I sponsor women. I'm a chaplain at the women's shelter here in Slidell. A good many of those women that come to the shelter or incarcerated at one time or another. I have no problem handling any of that, and I think she's going to do very well. I really do. I think this is the end for Lynn. I really feel very confident. You know, her PO Danielle Smith has already gotten in touch with me. She's already drove by the house, and she said she's going to be coming by on a weekly basis, and that's all good. I'm glad that we're going to have all that support. So yes, I'm really excited about Lenny coming home. She's got some medical issues that have to be answered. She's got a lump in her breast, and they took her to the hospital last May and suggested she have a mammogram and a biopsy, and that hasn't happened. So she needs to go to the doctor and find out about that. And in the medicine that she's on, she has to have regular blood tests. So yeah, I'm gonna help her do all of that. I'll take her. I work from home. I'm working from home now, and I can take her to any doctor's appointments she has, or any meetings or anything like that.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. Ms. Pommier, is there anything you'd like to tell us before we vote?
No, ma'am. I just appreciate y'all hearing me out today, and just hope y'all grant me parole.
Okay, we're prepared to vote. Mr. Kelsey will vote first.
All right, Lynn. Look, I'm concerned about you. I'll be honest with you. I'm concerned about you. I didn't know which way I felt like would be better for you. You are getting out in a year, you know, your good times a year from now. I'm concerned about a lot of things. You can't, you know, when you do go home, you're not going to just be sheltered. You know, you're going to be out in the community. You're going to see, you know, people that you know, that you have come to contact with through drugs or alcohol for many years that you've been involved. So I'm concerned. I think you have some, you know, not only, I mean, obviously your mother spoke of some health issues, but I think you have some mental health issues that you need to resolve as well. You need, there's some type of different counseling for sure, to try to help resolve some of those situations. I'm willing to take a chance on you today. After you complete thinking for a change, I'd like for you, do y'all have thinking for a change there at the facility?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'd like for you to complete thinking for a change, and then after you completed thinking for a change, then you'll be released. When you are released, I want you to have no contact with co-defendants, none, no contact with any of your co-defendants. I want you to get general counseling. I want you to attend NAAA 3 times a week. You can go as much as you want, but a minimum 3 times a week. Random drug screens, and you have a curfew from 10 p to 6 a unless you're working. Get with your parole officer. If you're working, that's something. But if not, there's no sense in being out all night, all through the middle of the night. And that's my vote. You understand the stipulations?
Yes, sir.
Well,
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Ms. Pommier, I have my concerns as well. I was a former judge. I ran a drug court for 14 years, and I'm aware that for many, many years, drug courts were not authorized to use medically assisted treatment in opioid cases. We've learned that that's very helpful. And this may be your best shot at staying and getting sober and being able to stay clean.
No,
They froze again.
no. What's wrong?
It's okay. It's okay. They're back.
I hope you follow up with all recommendations of the MAC class. And just remember that shot is a tool, it won't be forever. All of the other things that you learned, AA meetings, staying away from people, places, things, all of those things better be put in place. Because if they aren't, you're going to find yourself right back where you are now and maybe never get out. You've been sober, you've stayed sober for a long time, you know what it takes, you've just not been able to do it. So I'm willing to take a chance as well, with the same condition being that you complete thinking for a change before. I would add the condition that you follow, that you continue with the MAT class and follow all of their recommendations, which when you get out. We can't order you to take that shot, but I'm strongly going to recommend that you follow their advice and do whatever medically they think is appropriate for you. That's the shot. I hope that you take it. I'd also like to see you report to probation and parole weekly for the first 90 days that you're there. And I do think the environment that you've chosen to live with your mom and your partner is probably a good one for you. So I would also add that as a condition, not move from that residence unless it's approved by probation. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
all right, Ms. Pommier, I do agree. I think your mother has a good plan in place for you to be involved in the church activities. You're participating in the MAT program. I think that's going to be critical to your success. So my vote today also is to grant with the same conditions. You got to do thinking for change first, and then all the same special conditions that they mentioned this morning. So good luck to you.
Thank you so much, all of you. Mama, I love you. Thank you all.
For me, this was very interesting, a very interesting hearing. I think just kind of like the insight that we got into the behind the scenes, seeing her interact with her mother and the innocence of her mother holding her dog up, and just the also how the I think it was the warden and the staff there was just so supportive of her getting out, right? Like we had a hot mic on set. Let's think about that. And it could have gone many different ways than it went right now, and it didn't. I thought we only saw human kindness, human sadness, human vulnerability. You have a mother separated from her daughter, a daughter separated from her puppy. You have her sitting there in just complete anxiety and fear over what the decision will be. We find out that she has a lump in her chest, and because she's stuck in prison, she's really not getting the medical care that she needs. Imagine having to live with that, not knowing, not being able to go to the doctor, but knowing that it's there. To me, she seemed tired. To me, she seemed determined to be done with it. It might, I've seen a bunch of these hearings, and I'll tell you, we've seen other addicts. One sticks out really in mind where he spoke a great. I mean, he had a great interview, but when it came down to the shot, he said he wouldn't take it. Which was just interesting. It was like, maybe he's really not ready. It's like a shot you take once a month. There are side effects, of course. There's side effects to everything. And it was interesting too what Mr. Mirabella said, that drug court would not allow them to recommend drugs and whatnot. And now I believe he said that they do. So the active ingredients is Vivitrol, Vivitrol. I'll put it in the description. And it sets up a blockade of the feel-good chemicals released while using opioids. If you use opiates while on Vivitrol, you won't feel the same effect and are at risk of using various amounts of the drug that you are not used to. Additionally, your tolerance might be lower after detox, meaning you are at high risk of overdose. Okay. That's basically what they're saying. Like, how does it work? Vivitrol works by setting up a blockade of endorphins and opioid receptors in the brain to reduce the euphoric effect of alcohol and opioids. So it actually blocks the endorphins from getting to your receptors. It's like putting up a wall and just saying, nope, you can take the drug, but boom, boom, it's not getting in there. You're not going to feel good, which is so interesting, right? These feel-good chemicals are part of your brain's natural response to certain events and feelings. Natural opioids and endorphins are often released by the brain when you feel pain or experience something pleasurable. And I wonder what the side effects are for this. Like, natural opioids like heroin, codeine, and synthetic type of opioids like fentanyl, methadone, and something else can hijack this reward system. By taking a pill or injecting the substances, you can get a reward without any effort. Drinking alcohol can also release these feel-good chemicals, creating an alcohol addiction to continue feeling good. Now, does it block it naturally? Like, that's what I'm curious about. Well, can you drink on it? It would be best if you did not drink while you're on it. While Vivitrol and alcohol do not interact, you still should not drink while in addiction treatment. You will not get sicker or have worse effects from alcohol while on Vivitrol. You will have similar symptoms of drinking, and as you normally with it. I'm so confused about that. So it doesn't block with alcohol. It does not reduce the effects of alcohol that impair coordination and judgment, but it may reduce your feeling of intoxication and a desire to drink more, but it will not cause a severe physical response to drinking. Interesting. Imagine if you can get drunk, still be all discombobulated, but you're just not getting as good as endorphin kick. Lasts about 4 weeks for most people. Interesting. How much does it cost? The injections can cost between $1,000 and $1,500 for cash payments, though your insurance may cover it. Is that $1,000 per month? I wonder if that's $1,000 per month. It really just is not clear. It does not say that at all. It just says $1,000 to $1,500. Thanks a lot for that. If it's $1,000 a month, are you kidding me? Who's gonna be able to afford that? That's like the whole. Yeah. Okay. We should figure out what that means, because I can't believe they don't even say it. You know, if it's for a treatment cycle, okay, and still, even then, it'll be expensive for some people. But a month, who's going to be able to afford that? It's like, anyways, for me, this was super interesting for the reasons we discussed, and people, places, things. Interesting that she does have to do that one course. How long will that take? She has to wait for the course to open up so that there's a new one, so she can start at the beginning. So who knows when those cycles are? Then she join it, and then however long it is. But she'll be getting out, and she's going to a good place. She's got great support, and hopefully she is Dunsky, and she will stay out. I'm hoping. I have hopes for her. With that, I'll let you go.